52.92, a new high school national record. Back to back to back to back state champions.
NET Sports, Nebraska's home for championship sports, is live this afternoon at Memorial Stadium here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Two teams battling for a Class C1 state championship inside the friendly confines from Memorial Stadium. It is a showdown between the top-seeded Huskies of Aurora, 12-0 on the year, and the Chanticleers of Ord at 11-1. And hello again, everyone. I'm Larry Putney, along with former Husker Damon Benning. It's good to have you with us here this afternoon at Memorial Stadium. Funny thing has happened on the way to this fifth state championship, and that is that 4 consecutive teams have won state championships for the first time in their school history, and Ord is trying to do that again this afternoon. They've got a terrific team, but we're going to start on the other side with Aurora and an outstanding quarterback in Baylor Shinerman.
Yeah, he is an unbelievable two-sport athlete. He's a great basketball player. He's a great football player. Shinerman can really throw the football. And here's the deal. If you're a coach at Ord, you better have worked hard on the scramble drill. You are always open with Baylor Shinerman on the football field. He's got a 60 to 65-yard arm. He is elusive, evasive, and he can use his legs. He's going to be a handful for the Chanticleers.
And the Chants have a pretty good quarterback of their own in Jesse Ulrich.
Yeah, the dual-threat quarterback. He's thrown for over 1,500 yards and rushed for 1,300 yards. A very explosive offense. Don't let any huddle tape fool you. They left a lot to the imagination in the playoffs, knowing I think they could get by. We'll see the whole kitchen sink for this one and this offense for Ord.
Should be a good one in C1. And for more, we go down to the field to the third member of our crew. Here's Sean Callahan.
Hey guys, you know, when you look at Ord and kind of study their history and their story, it reminds you a lot about 2 years ago. You had a team in O'Neill who didn't qualify for the playoffs the previous year, really didn't have much of a playoff history, run the table, get all the way to Lincoln, win a championship. Well, that's Ord. Their last playoff win as a school came in 2001. They did not win a playoff, or they didn't even qualify for the playoffs. They weren't even a team on the radar to get here, and here they are. They find themselves in Lincoln, a very loaded Class C1 bracket, and they're standing here with a chance to take down Aurora.
Yeah, what a great story for these Chants here, and a great representation here at Memorial Stadium. Good crowd on hand for both of these teams from Aurora and Ord. Here's a look at what has happened to this point here at this 2018 State Football Championships. It's been a bit unusual in that we had one team in each class that was going after that school's first ever state title, and through 4, each of those teams has won. Johnson Brock came from back from a deficit of 20-0 to win over Mullen. It was Creighton, injured and banged up late, finding a way to win it for that school in D1. And then last night, a great game in Class A as Burke came from behind, a couple of touchdowns by Xavier Watts late in the game to pull them up to the win over Grand Island. And then earlier this morning, in a game that went into overtime, Centennial scores in overtime, goes for 2, makes it, and wins Centennial's first ever state championship. So we have an opportunity for the Chants from Ord, the Chanticleers, to do that here today. But Aurora is going to have a lot to say. This is a team that was in the state championship in Class B last year. They drop a class, go down to C1, but they have easily Class B talent. Should be a good one. And then late tonight, it's Scott taking on Scotts Bluff, and Scotts Bluff the Bearcats looking for their first ever state championship as well. Good crowd on hand on what has turned out to be a very nice afternoon here at Memorial Stadium. The sun warming up the folks there on the east side of the stadium. Good crowds for both Ord and Aurora. I want to remind you, you can watch NET Sports anytime and anywhere. All you have to do is download the free NET Nebraska app. You can do that today. Plenty of content on there as well. You can watch college player profiles. There are full-length episodes from Big Red Wrap-Up, live web streams also available on the app. A lot of content. You just search for NET Nebraska in the App Store, 'or download it free at netnebraska.org NSAA.com/apps. And it's always good to get those emails from all around the country and really all around the globe of individuals who are tuning into the app or watching NET online for these state high school championships. We had a winner of our trivia question yesterday from Huntington Beach. We've had folks stationed overseas previously watching these state championships right here on NET. So good to have you with us, along with Damon Benning and Sean Callahan. I'm Larry Putney, ready for our 5th state championship of these 2 days here at Memorial Stadium. This the title in Class C1. Again, it is Ord taking on Aurora for a championship, and hopefully a first championship if you are from Ord, a first championship for that school. Ready now for introductions. Let's go to our public address announcer. Here is Heath Kramer.
And now for the introduction of the players and coaches. First, for the Aurora Huskies, number 2, Cy Bullerman. Number 3, Baylor Shireman. Number 4, Jordan Stevenson. Number 5, Cade Reichart. Number 7, Trevor Dvorak. Number 9, Colby Wessels. Number 11, Trevor Cumston. Number 14, Rylan Willis. Number 22, Caleb Morale. Number 24, Levi Van Pelt. Number 35, Brendan Barger. Number 51, Carter Persley. Number 63, Brad McDonald. Number 64, Nick Hutzel. Number 71, Brandon Otto. Number 78, Ryan Marlette. Number 82, Ryan Hunter. Number 87, Nathan Borkercher. The head coach for the Huskies is Kyle Peterson. And now, for the rest of the Aurora High School players and coaches.
Aurora led by head coach Kyle Peterson, is his 4th season, 37-9 in his career. Here's a look at the playoff resume for the Huskies of Aurora. 32nd appearance overall, 7th in the finals. They are 2-time state champs. They won it in back-to-back years in 08 and 09, and runner-up 4 times for the Huskies. Time now to introduce you to the Chants from Ord. Back to Heath Kramer.
Now let's meet the players for the Ord Chanticleers. Number 1, Riley Warner. Number 6, Quentin Reese. Number 7, Jesse Ulrich. Number 11, Solomon Kempis. Number 14, Clayton Shoemaker. Number 20, Kellen Meyer. Number 23, Caden Riley. Number 25, Dalton Hurlbert. Number 42, Tommy Stevens. Number 50, Brett Cook. Number 54, Cooper Tonagis. Number 55, Ethan Gabriel. Number 65, Jesus Loya. Number 68, DJ Hovitt. Number 70, Jacob Brown. Number 73, Hayden Grint. And number 74, Riley Setlick. The head coach for the Chanticleers is Nate Wells. And now for the rest of the Ord High School players and coaches. The officials for today's game: the referee is Tom Heyer. The umpire is Eric Cedar. The linesman, Tom Kent.
Resume for the Chanticleers of Ord. An enrollment of just 143, 14th appearance in the final in the championships, but never into the championship finals. This is that school's first ever appearance. They are led by head coach Nate Wells, just in his 4th season, a record of 26-13. Let's take a look at where these two teams hail. Of course, Aurora just out I-80 from Memorial Stadium, and the Ord Chanticleers right in the heart of the Cornhusker State. How did they get here? Let's take a look at the bracket for both of these teams. The Chanticleers with a win in the semifinals over Bishop Neumann 37-0, and they knocked off Ashland Greenwood 42 in the semifinals. That's the Ord Chanticleers. And then the Aurora Huskies, their wins in the semifinal came over Wahoo 35-10, and a win over Gothenburg 54-20. Now for our national anthem, back to Heath Kramer.
On behalf of the Nebraska School Activities Association and its member schools, welcome to the 2018 NSAA State Football Championship Finals. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats to honor America as the Sydney High School Octet, under the direction of Mr. David Mead, sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose black stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
That is the Sydney High School Octet under the direction of David Mead. We are ready for state championship football in Class C1. It will be Ord taking on Aurora for the title here at Memorial Stadium. When we come back on NET Sports.
You are a Nebraska farmer. You defined tough. You pushed the limit. You gave it all you had. And when you got to the end of the field, you turned around and we were there behind you every step of the way. Our success is measured by our understanding of your farm. It is measured in your trust in us at Aurora Cooperative. Tougher together, Aurora and you.
Let's talk about public power for a second. Nebraska's electric utilities use a diverse mix of fuel resources to generate electricity. Wind, water, coal, nuclear, natural gas, solar, and methane. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you. Let's talk about public power for a second. Did you know Nebraska's electric utilities pay more than $100 million to communities they serve each year? Those dollars stay local, helping to empower our hometowns. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you.
Pride of place is more than just a saying. It's a movement, driven by a desire to achieve and the unwavering faith of the fans. Like a town and its team, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Chadron State College, offering several online master's programs. Students can earn an organizational management degree in human services, sports management, or natural resources. Chadron State College also offers an accredited online Master of Business Administration degree. The 8-week online courses allow students to work at their own pace wherever they are. Chadron State College, serving Nebraska and beyond since 1911. Information at csc.edu.
Well, my guess is it's not 78 degrees outside, but it is warm. It's maybe doesn't feel like a typical Nebraska afternoon. A little breeze out of the south. The flags are flying here at Memorial Stadium. Should be a good one, though. Here are your officials: Todd Heyer, Eric Cedar, Tom Kent, Jason Chapman. Back judges Terry Wrinkle, and the red hat is Red Stromer. They will be. Red hat is Red Stromer, sure.
Well, he might as well be. Rick always does it.
Oh,
so
that's right.
Rick's the guy in red. They're interchangeable.
That's right. So ready to go here at Memorial Stadium. The toss was won by Aurora. They chose to defer. Sorry, Ord won the toss and chose to defer. So Ord will be kicking off. That'll be Kellen Meyer, number 20, to kick it deep and back deep. For Aurora is Cy Bullerman. Underway here in the Class C1 State Championship. Bullerman will take it right at the goal line. And that back foot step into the end zone, so no return for the Huskies. So we'll get our first look at the leader of this Aurora Huskies attack, 12-0 on the season. His name is Baylor Shireman. Shireman averages better than 300 yards through the air per game, 55 touchdowns. Broke the total yardage record, which was held by
a popular guy.
Yeah, I've heard of him before. Scott Frost. And Shireman likely headed to play basketball. There's right out of the gate. They go to the air. The completion to Cy Bullerman. Bullerman, a 1,000-yard receiver for the Huskies. And a gain of 9 on first down brings up second and short. The give inside to Caleb Morrell. Morrell piled up there, but not until he gains a yard and a first down.
A lot of people have made this about Aurora's offense to see it, and basically saying, okay, can Ord hang in there? Ord is better defensively than just the ability to hang in there. The problem is this guy like Baylor Shireman can really compromise you defensively, even if you've had everything done right, X's and O's wise.
Goes to the air again. Finds his guy, complete for 12 yards and a first down, and that guy once again, well, that's Cade Reichart with the catch.
He's so accurate, can buy time. He's long in the pocket, so he's got great vision. Kind of like on the basketball court. He sees just about everything happen.
Drops back again, goes downfield, had a man out there, and incomplete to Jordan Stevenson. Top receivers for this Huskies squad are Cy Bullerman, of course, with over 1,000 yards, Cade Reichart, Jordan Stevenson, Rylan Willis, number 14. Those are the primary targets for Baylor Shireman. Every once in a while, you'll see Caleb Morrell sneak out of the backfield. On the flat to Willis. Willis with a nice gain after breaks a tackle, and now into Chanticleer territory.
They've got a couple of different tempos. They can go no huddle without hurry up, but they can also go hurry up. Right now, you're seeing them run their hurry up style offense.
Third down and short. Rolling to his left is Shireman. He sees a gap, will take off himself, has the first down. Slides in there at about the 42-yard line, enough for a first down, and they're still in business on the opening drive.
We've seen it. It's the theme of football these days, the dual threat quarterback. Shireman fits the mold, though he is a pass first dual threat quarterback. The legs are a complement to a rifle left arm.
Give inside, Morrell with the carry on first down, picks up about 5 yards on first down. That'll bring up second down and about 5.
If you're Ord, you've kind of got to get what you call your sea legs underneath you on the first drive. This is your first time here. There are a lot of emotions running, and this is a very big boy offense that they're seeing, but they'll boast one of their own that we'll see here when they get the football.
Empty backfield. Quick toss out to Bullerman. Bullerman get him about 3, maybe 4 on the play. We'll bring up third down and short.
All receivers in this Aurora offense are always open. You're not going to outthrow Shireman's arm, and he is constantly keeping plays alive. Hopefully Ord has worked the scramble drill defensively. It will come into play before it's over. Boy, that's big time.
That is a big hit from the free safety spot by Jaden Riley, who has 32 tackles on the year, but a first down by Morrell.
You've got it defensed well. You overrun one fit early right there by Shoemaker. Riley cleaned it up.
Right back to the hurry up for Shireman. Looks downfield right over the middle. Has a man open. Caught inside the 10-yard line. And a great drive to open up here for the Aurora Huskies. That's Morrell with the grab.
Well, they stress you, don't they? You've got backs out of the backfield. You have multiple wide receiver combinations. You can't really personnel them. You have to go by formation, and you will see about 7 or 8 different formations.
21-yard gain on that last play. Now Shireman looks into the end zone, goes to the deep corner, has a man there. Pulled down. Is it in? No signal yet. Touchdown!
He caught it.
Right at that back pylon, got the foot down and in for the touchdown on the opening drive for the Huskies. Grab by Jordan Stevenson.
The ability to climb the ladder, high point of football. Watch Shireman's patience, though. He doesn't like it right away, but then here's the touch. Well, that's the only place this guy's going to go get it.
2-point try here is no good. So right off the bat, the Huskies march the length of the field, put 6 on the board, and Aurora in this Class C1 state championship with the lead early on the Chants. Ord gets its first opportunity when we come back right here on NET.
Have you ever wondered what happens to soybeans after they're harvested? Every year, soybean farmers invest a portion of their soybean revenue to fund research, marketing, and promotion, which is called the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff. 80% of the harvested soybeans are crushed into soybean meal that's used to feed poultry and livestock. The other 20% is made into soybean oil that's used for cooking oil and biodiesel. To learn more about the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff, nebraskasoybeans.org.
The Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association is pleased to sponsor the NSAA Academic All-State Award Program, recognizing students and athletes who shine in the classroom and on the field. This statewide program recognizes academic excellence, leadership, and athletic achievement in over 20 high school sports and activities. We honor these exceptional students and all of the teachers, coaches, and parents who have mentored them. Together, we can continue to make Nebraska a great place to live, learn, and play.
Like I said yesterday, I'm so proud and happy for you. And now you guys get to go show everybody in Nebraska why you earned the right to be here. Okay? We just got to take it to them. Just keep taking it to them the whole night, the whole day, whatever you want to call it. They're a tremendous football team, and we're a tremendous football team, and it's going to be one heck of a battle out there.
Nate Wells in his 4th season with the Chants, 11-1 this year.
He's intense. They've got an innovative offense. I think we're going to see the whole kit and caboodle with this one. Watch those last couple of games on Huddle. I think he left a lot in the cupboard in that one. As they rolled, the eye popper was what they did to Newman.
Right.
Which I think got some folks' attention. They have steamrolled their way through the playoffs. This right here, the Aurora Huskies, a different type of animal.
So Aurora now to kick it away after the touchdown, and they lead. Ryan Hunter will kick it deep. Riley and Stevens are back deep. It will be fair caught at about the 23-yard line. And that's where the Chanticleers will take over. So our first look at this offense for the Chants, led by Jesse Ulrich. Damon, you talked about him off the top, 1,300 yards rushing, 1,500 through the air, dual threat guy.
A lot of versatility to his game. He's accurate. He's got good command and very good strength. Make sure you get him down to the ground because he'll keep running.
Ulrich in the shot. Motion across the set. Gives it to his running back Dalton Hurlburt, who rushed for 783 yards on the season and 9 touchdowns with the carry.
A mirror image of what they're trying to stop. A little bit different with the pistol concept. It's more of a downhill run game than it is lateral zone action. Then they have the capability to go zone here as well.
Quick throw, tried it out in the flat, incomplete. Defensed well. Jaden Riley, the intended receiver, broken up there or swatted down. Rylan Willis, the strong safety on the coverage. That'll bring up 3rd down and 8 here early on. Motioning it away is Riley. Now he'll look that way. Across the set, had a man open and underthrew the intended receiver, Quentin Reese.
Yeah, really tough concept for the coverage that Aurora likes to play. They had him come clean here. Again, we've seen it a little bit with some of the talented quarterbacks with their first time here. Takes a little bit of time for the nerves to settle in. Chadwick, our most recent example, got off to a little bit of a slow start, then all of a sudden caught fire in the second half.
Offsides, that's going to mark off 5 yards there, bring up 4th down and still about 3 yards. Probably won't change the decision.
Defense.
I don't know.
5 yards, 4th down.
Coach Wells is very aggressive. Spread formation here.
So Hurlburt in there to punt it away. And he does. Kind of a line drive punt over the head of Bullerman, who will run it down from behind. Bullerman has some speed, tries to get the corner and does. Good return by Cy Bullerman back to the 34-yard line after a terrific punt by Dalton Hurlburt.
A really good speed to get to the corner. It's the downside to the low line drive. You don't give a lot of coverage time. He scoops it up off the roll. And it's been a couple of days, but again, a lot like you and your marriage, he outkicked his coverage.
It's been more than a couple of days.
358 days to be exact.
Quick out. Put in there by Bullerman.
He's just so accurate. He just constantly keep the pressure on you defensively. Tackling in space will be paramount for Ord.
Motion across now by Willis. Diamond looks that way, floats it out there, incomplete. He was just throwing that one away. Brings up 3rd down and 5. Let's get out of the field to Sean Callahan.
If you're watching this game, you're wondering, how is Aurora in Class C? Well, with the new NSAA boy enrollment counter, Aurora, for the first time ever this year, moved down to Class C1. They actually could have opted to stay up. It went to the board for a vote, and it fell short on a vote. So Aurora dropped down to Class C1 this year, guys, for the first time in their school's history.
Much to the chagrin of a lot of seat. Well, look at
what a flip to a wide open Stevenson down the near sideline. Inside the 20 down to the 17. That is some creative play there, but we have a flag and we may have a lineman downfield.
Oh, remember, we just talked about 4 or 5 minutes ago. If you're Ord and this coaching staff, the scramble drill is always in effect with Baylor Shireman. His ability to improvise and make plays buying himself time is almost uncanny. You will see some spectacular plays that he'll make, not only because he has a big boy arm, because he can extend plays for so long.
So on 3rd and 5, the ineligible receiver downfield will back them up. Still have an opportunity, though, to pick up the 1st down.
You almost have to pick your poison with Shireman and Aurora. If you bring pressure, you know you're probably playing man behind it. If you sit back and play coverage, you're giving a deadly accurate quarterback an inordinate amount of time.
Yeah, they were beyond that.
They give you about a 3-yard halo.
Yeah, allowed 3 yards. Third down and 10 here for Shireman. A roll to his left.
Good route.
On target, but not pulled in by Cade Reichart.
That was a great route. I'm not a big fan of sprint out, giving your quarterback 1/3 of the field to throw to, but when you're as accurate as Shireman and a good a route runner is the bulk of his receiving core, this can happen. Boy, that is on the money.
The punter is Baylor Shireman, so he's what looks to be in the shotgun.
Always live.
Punts that away, angles it away. Good field position upcoming for the Chanticleers. 45-yard line.
To Coach Wells and company, you feel like you weathered the early storm. You got the drive out of the way to get the jitters out for Ulrich. Now you can kind of settle in and play football.
Ulrich in that offense now back onto the field. First time in this state championship game for the Chanticleers of Ord. Actually hadn't made the semifinals since 1987.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Go first.
So many coaches from the surrounding communities coming to watch the state finals. It's one of the cool things about this event.
Yeah. There's a look at the numbers of Ulrich. Kind of a dual threat guy.
Yeah, those are impressive. Very elusive in the open field.
Left back, across the middle, has a man. Pop. Good reception by Campese. Campese pulls that in on first down and 15. Gets about 13 of those back.
Between Campese and Hurlburt, they'll be the two primary targets for Ulrich. But here you see the accuracy. Watch the poise in the pocket. Strong right arm from a strong kid. You'll see his run game here shortly.
Good header report on the carry by Tommy Stevens. That was shut down.
Oh, and he broke his face mask, a la a guy like Corey Schlesinger.
Rylan Willis has made a couple of big hits here early on.
Yeah, I saw Schlesinger roll through about 7 or 8 of those once upon a time.
Swaps out helmet, and he's back there.
How do you just have one ready?
You know, you grab the freshmen. So that's what you do, right?
Wait,
I know
it's the same size head.
No, yours fits. Here we go. Looking downfield. Boy, got rid of it under pressure and right on target. The reception for the Chanticleers by Clayton Shoemaker.
Right there, you see the quick release from Ulrich. Once he makes his mind up, it's out of his hand. Look at that. That is a hose.
First down for the Chanticleers.
How about the arm strength? You can't even step into that one.
Give it to Tommy Stevens, who's got a hole. Stevens with a nice move. Gain of about 8 on first down, maybe 9 for Tommy Stevens.
You know, it's interesting. You watch him on tape, and everybody looks about the same size and stature. It's powerful and explosive. I was pretty impressed with their film. I had seen Aurora live, and I know a ton about Shireman, so that didn't surprise me a lot. We just had them in the finals. So, two good football teams.
Second down and 1. Ulrich keeps it himself, kind of picks his way, has a first down. Ulrich still on his feet. Ulrich down inside the 10, breaks the tackle. Ulrich, touchdown for Ord.
Do I know?
21-yard touchdown run.
Saw it time and time again on tape. He breaks tackles. He's a strong runner. You have to make your mind up when he's in the open field. He's not your ordinary quarterback. Decisive. He runs like a running back. Keeps defenders away from his leg with the off arm. We've seen the resurgence of the old school stiff arm.
Wow. Extra point knocked through. It's good by Kellen Meyer, and a 7-6 lead for the Chants.
We may have to settle in.
The Norfolk Catholic Knights faced the Boone Central Newman Grove Cardinals in hopes of winning their 10th state football title. The Cardinals' physical defense was no match for Norfolk Catholic running back Dylan Couts, who rushed 193 yards for 2 touchdowns. The Knights' running game and 4 forced Cardinal turnovers helped Norfolk Catholic take home their 10th championship trophy.
That was last year in this class in C1. Obviously, Norfolk Catholic has moved down to Class C2. They were knocked off earlier today in this championship game by Centennial out of Utica, which won its first ever state championship. Another team moving down in class is Aurora, as we mentioned. So the Chanticleers and Huskies here for this C1 title. So Kellen Meyer ready to kick it off now for the Chanticleers. Back deep is Bullerman again for Aurora. You saw his speed on the punt return. High kick for Meyer. Bullerman at the 10. Nowhere for Bullerman to go. First man down there making the play was Bentley Riley.
I think some people that I was talking to before I came down were a little caught off guard how surprised I was to see this matchup, right? Just the prowess and the aura of Aurora and what they've done running rough shot. But I really liked what I saw from Ord on tape. And then talking to Coach Wells, just a joy to talk to. Really innovative, likes his group of kids, says they're battle tested. I could hear the chip on his shoulder. I didn't need to see it.
Shireman looking downfield.
Oh, he is so cool.
Floats it out there and tipped away. And an interception. Tipped back into play. And the Chanticleers come up with the big interception. It was tipped away by Tommy Stevens. Did not see who picked it off. Stevens, great job in coverage. It looks like it might have fallen into the hands of Riley Warner.
Yeah, Shireman buying himself time. He does this. This appears to be on target. A little too much traffic. You'd call that ill-advised.
Yeah.
On the spot, the tip drill. Now watch Ord with some sort of trickeration or to go up top. They are very good with their sudden change offense, especially in good field position here.
Ball at the 35-yard line of the Huskies. Back out there is Ulrich. Ulrich options to the left. Passes out to Hurlbert. Strung that out, and a loss on the carry by Hurlbert. First man there is Cy Bullerman.
Cy Bullerman is a complete football player. He's very dangerous with the ball under his arms. He's a very good receiver. But you saw him win out there on the edge defensively. Defeating one-on-one blocks for perimeter run game is critical if you want to be a good run defense, especially against the spread.
Ulrich looks downfield in the middle, intercepted, picked off right into the hands of Dvorak, and Dvorak down to the 35 and run out of bounds, but the interception by Trevor Dvorak.
Never saw him. He baited him. I saw it the whole way. I thought he might try to let the crossing route clear. Never saw him. That's easy pickings. Watch the disguise here, getting hooked to curl. That's why you do it. That's good film study. He's robbing the route in essence from underneath. Well, that was beautiful. That, you're thinking, if you're watching at home, what was Ulrich thinking? I'm telling you, he never saw him. You don't expect him to get underneath with that kind of width playing from where Dvorak was playing.
So a turnover for each team. Spinning away from the tackle and still on his feet is Caleb Morall. First and 10 on the carry by Morell.
Just a good, strong, decisive run. Takes a good shot at the end.
Again, right up the middle. Touchdown, Morell. 2 plays, both carries. 20-yard touchdown run, and the lead regained by the Huskies.
You see the jet ghost motion. It kind of holds the backside safety. He can't come down into the run game because you have to honor the jet motion. Parted like the Memorial Red Sea. Well, that's too easy when you're that good up front. Getting a hat on a hat. Biggs really doing business.
16th touchdown of the year for Morale. And now they'll go for 2. Nothing there. He'll take it himself and got it. 2-point conversion of the carry by Shireman.
So savvy. You just can't let morale get going. Otherwise, with this offense, it can take your morale simply because they have so many weapons. Have to stop the run game to have any sort of chance to slow this offensive unit down.
2 plays, 2 carries, 32 yards. And a touchdown. Aurora on top, 14-7 there in Lincoln.
For me, asking why is just getting started.
It's more than an activity. It's me doing what I love.
I'm not a stereotype. When I rewrite the rules, things get better.
I know that all these experiences matter.
These moments will help me become something more.
Little things always lead to something bigger.
Do it.
Track it.
Earn it.
What you're doing now will help you get scholarships later. Find resources from Education Quest at trackyoursuccess.org.
FFA's vision is to build leaders, grow communities, and strengthen agriculture. The funds from Constellation will most likely be directed to one of those areas. But most importantly, people need to know that it is at the local level. It's helping local chapters.
Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. Through our support for 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's future as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
Coverage of the 2018 NSAA High School Football Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, Education Quest, Constellation, the Nebraska Soybean Board, Nebraska Methodist College, Aurora Cooperative. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support.
Back at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska on a terrific Tuesday afternoon. Good to have you with us in this Class C1 State Championship as we begin second quarter action. 14-0, Aurora on top. And now after the touchdown, Aurora to kick it away. Ryan Hunter will kick deep to Jaden Riley and Tommy Stevens.
Well, I tell you, the difference right now is the sudden change offense.
Yeah.
Ord couldn't capitalize off the turnover. Aurora gets 7 off of theirs.
Into the end zone, touchback.
You almost have to rub your eyes to see traditional deep kicks with the kicking game, right?
Right.
We've seen very little of that thus far these past 2 days.
So there is Nate Wells with his quarterback.
Talking with Tony Chapman, who does a great job covering high school sports. You know, it's interesting. I told you about all the small communities that we see rally and support teams. He says Coach Wells is originally from North Loop. He says he plays with Glenn Snodgrass and Matt Kern in high school. How about that collection?
Yeah.
1993 D1 champs. Not a bad crew to run with.
Kidding. No room for Ulrich there. First man in the middle, number 64. That's Nick Hutzel. Hutzel, a 6'3", 200-pound senior.
Good sound technique. Staying right around the action line as a D lineman in QB run game.
Pass a little too high, intended for Campese. And that's going to bring up third down.
Yeah, you'll see that from time to time from Ulrich. The footwork gets away from him a little bit because he has such a strong arm. We've seen him airmail a couple with some early open wide receivers. Just has to settle down a little bit. Big, strong kid. You combine that with nerves, you start to hit 96 on the jugs.
Ulrich under pressure, and again he's dropped. Pressure from the backside from the outside linebacker, Jordan Stevenson, who gets the sack.
They got two really good bookends for Aurora. Good sound, long, rangy bodies.
So 3 and out for the Chanticleers. And Bullerman now is deep.
You have to be careful here. Bullerman, you blink, and he's off to the races.
Hurlburt with another driving kick. Fair catch called for by Bullerman, and that's where the Huskies take over, right at midfield, 50-yard line. So back onto the field comes Baylor Shireman. Shireman has good numbers, had good numbers through the first quarter, 7 of 11, 66 yards and a touchdown. And those 7 receptions, Damon, to 5 different receivers.
Yeah, they're really hard to game plan for. They were giving me a headache just watching them on film. You know, what do you try to take away? You have to start with the run game and make him as one-dimensional as you can, even though that's playing to his strengths with balls like this.
Goes down the field and just misses Reichart. Good coverage on the play by Riley Warner.
Well, it's just effortless. I mean, it's literally a flick of the wrist. Watch him stand tall in the pocket.
So tried the crick swipe. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Shireman with the give. Morrell again. And Morrell inside the 35 down to the 34. Gain of 16.
Yeah, Ord got caught stemming pre-snap, the late line movement, what we call that. You see him shift to a 5 technique. That's easy pickings. Right tackle gets to Mike.
Morrell again into the middle. Nothing there.
When you play that odd front, that 3-man front, you have to be really good on the second level understanding run fits, because you don't stop run with your D-line. You've always got to get 5 on dive, whatever 5 they are.
Last 4 carries for Morrell, 50 yards. Very quick hitter, Reichart with a nice catch. That's enough for a 1st down inside the 20 down to the 19. Check an 18-yard line.
You know, Coach Wells and company saw Aurora in 7-on-7 this summer in passing league, and he said, yeah, that almost wasn't fair. Can you imagine these guys just playing 7-on-7?
Wow. Shireman checking the bench. Not much there that time for Morrell.
I really like the way Brett Cook, I like the way that he played on tape. He's a little undersized, got a high motor. Uses his hands well. He keeps people off his bodies. For those of you watching at home, young people, don't always worry so much about your size. Worry about your technique, your hands and your feet. As long as you can use them, you can play.
Looks across the middle, tipped away. Last second, Jesse Ulrich comes in and tips that pass away. Had a man there momentarily.
A big 3rd down right here. Critical juncture in this game. Down 7 for this Orr defense.
Tip actually made underneath by Cooper Tonages. Got his hand up there. Tonages with the tip away. 3rd down now for the Huskies. They are 2 for 3 on 3rd down.
Empty backfield here. You have to watch Shireman's legs. There's only 4 in the box.
Shireman completes out to the 10. It's going to be about a yard shy. It'll bring up 4th down and 1 on the completion to Reichart.
A little disappointed he didn't get to the sticks. But Kyle Peterson does a good job, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
This looks like zone.
Morrell has it. Enough for a 1st down. Leans forward inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line. They'll bring up 1st down and goal to go for the Aurora Huskies. talked about Shireman's completing passes to 5 different individuals on that opening drive of the game. He's completed touchdown passes to 9 different players this year, as you see the numbers for Mo Ralph.
He is truly the maestro to this offense and this orchestra. Look at this.
Back across his body, across the middle late, but it pays off. Reichart standing there wide open for the touchdown. What a throw by Shireman.
Ted, you know, listen, this goes against everything you believe if you're writing the book. When you're that talented with this kind of arm, watch him just zip this. No problem. Not a lot of guys making that throw, going to their left, back to their right.
Yeah, over the middle late, let alone across your body over the middle late, right?
He's just so talented. He's got that whip arm motion.
Extra point is through and good by Ryan Hunter.
Sometimes arm talent supersedes good judgment.
Aurora has opened up a 21-7 lead. It's time now for NSAA Championship Trivia. You can be the first person to email a correct answer to our email address, which is sports@netnebraska.org. Again, sports@netnebraska.org. You see it on your screen, and you could win this lovely NET Sports Championship shirt, size extra large. This is the question. Both Aurora and Ord are frequent NSAA football playoff qualifiers. Which NSAA member school holds the all-time record for most playoff appearances? The first correct email to sports@netnebraska.org will win the NET Sports Championship shirt. And remember, only one winner per household during the 2018 championships. Big school.
Big school.
Yep. 5 pass, 4 rushes on that last drive. It went 50 yards, and the Huskies jump out to a 2-touchdown lead here in quarter number 2. 8:28 to go before half. Not time to panic if you're the Chants. But yes, an important drive here coming up because the Aurora offense has been fairly prolific thus far in the game.
Yeah. Or it hasn't quite been the same since Gabriel went down right before we went to break. We'll see if we can get a report. Pretty integral part of what they do.
Yeah. End over end, taken right at the goal line. Here's the return by Tommy Stevens, still on his feet. Stevens out past the 40 to the 42. A terrific return by Tommy Stevens of 42 yards.
Tommy Stevens, the return man.
Yeah, right on time. It's still 8 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the second quarter, but you get the sense this is a critical drive. Well, that's pretty good ball technique right there too. See, just
high and tight, right?
Just being willing to hit the crease, getting vertical north and south. Said it last night, a lot of times is the difference between being a great returner and a good returner. You don't have a lot of time to be picking daisies. Get to where you're going.
Motion away. Given the backfield, that's not going to go anywhere. Stevens is shut down. Maybe a gain of 3 after the spin move out of the tackle.
You're still on pace here in terms of offense.
Well, you mentioned Ethan Gabriel went down, and there you see him with ice on the knee. Let's go down to Sean Callahan.
Guys, I just spoke with Ethan Gabriel and said he twisted his left knee. It doesn't look good as he's sitting there, obviously, with his head down on the sidelines.
Yeah, that changes the way Ord plays up front on both sides of the ball dramatically, in my opinion. He jumps right off the page at you. He's active. Just a junior.
I think he was injured on that 2-point conversion by the Huskies. Under some pressure, Ulrich stood up right at the line of scrimmage.
It's danger time. The body language, a lot of the heads dropped right there for Ord. You got to stay the course. We've seen some silly runs in this past day and a half with offenses and defenses. It can swing in a hurry. You got to keep competing.
Dvorak, Barger, Stevenson all in there on that tackle for the Huskies. Brings up 4th down and 7.
Just getting ready to say a different wrinkle here with their spread punt. Back to a little more conventional.
And Hurlburt gets it away. We'll let it roll inside the 20-yard line. 6:39 to go here. Second quarter action of the C1 championship, and Aurora has taken charge here. 21-7, and an opportunity to extend that lead even further.
Defense has to make a play here. You know a couple of things are going to happen. Shireman's going to buy himself some time. You've got to be as Velcro as you can in the secondary as he kind of does his thing back there. Don't get caught looking in the backfield. And all those Aurora receivers are always open until that whistle blows.
Trips to the top of the screen. Shireman looks that way. Goes downfield. Has a man there. Could not catch up to it. Bullerman with his speed just over his hands. Shireman looked right, came back left, and had Bullerman streaking down the field.
Yeah, it's, I'm a big body language guy. He's not even mad at himself. He's like, yeah, I'll come back and get that one back. Look how he looked him off. And there's that flick of the wrist. You know you've got a good arm when you when you overthrow Bullerman.
Second down and 10. Good throw by Shireman. Finds Stevenson on the catch.
That little search route that they run when they flood the zone with that Aurora defense is tough because it's kind of like a high-low concept. Shireman is so accurate. He reads it so well. It's tough to stop even when defensed properly because he's got choices. You see how it's layered? He's got Willis right underneath as an option as well. You got to give up the short and get depth in your drop. Oh, good stunt.
Right into the run.
Really good stunt by Cooper. Kind of sniffed it out early. You could see him on the move.
Cottages with the tackle. Brings up second down and 10.
And you're going to what that would call their nickel package. Linebacker comes out, DB comes in. How about that hat from Coach Wells? You think that bad boy's got some mileage?
You can buy him that way now.
He used to work in Nebraska. He may still have it from the 90s.
It's fashionable. Over the middle. Has a man tripped up. Good catch by Ryan Willis for a big gain.
And that looks like an easy throw on your television, but from Shireman's angle, look at this needle. There's just not a lot of room. Look at this. And it looked a lot easier from up here, didn't it? That's good pace.
Shireman already with 134 yards passing on 12 of 19. Timeout taken by the Chanticleers.
Yeah, this is a good timeout right here because just get your composure. At this point, it's not so much about what Ord isn't doing, and so you can't be discouraged. Just stay the course here. Well, that's a pep talk right there. That's what that is. You can tell he's got the eyes of his guys.
Well, this Wednesday on NET World, Big Red Wrap-Up moves to a special time due to the high school football championships. You can join Andy Kendi and for Kevin Kugler and guests as they look ahead to Friday's game against Iowa. Don't miss Big Red Wrap-Up on NET World Wednesday night at 8 Central and again at 10 p.m. on NET. Get to see highlights of a lot of field goals this week on Big Red Wrap-Up. 3 big ones from Pickering.
You know what else has 3 in it? W-I-N.
And that's the most important number of all. Good carry by Mo Rao. Mo Rao down inside the 30-yard line to the 29, and another first down for Mo Rao. Has really opened it up as well. 80 yards now for Mo Rao. 11 carries, check at 77 yards on 11 carries, along with 20 for Mo Rao.
You've seen a lot of offenses that have been dubbed basketball on grass. Well, this point guard is actually is a good basketball player, and at the point is quarterback in Baylor Shireman.
Shireman hits Willis. Willis back inside, a gain of maybe 7 or 8 on first down.
You know, it's really tough, and you know, as a defensive guy, when you're looking at how you would go about trying to stop Aurora, you think they get you length and width. He stretches the field from number to numbers, but then he can go end zone to end zone on you too.
Looking into the end zone over the middle, has a man, incomplete. And a flag comes in late. Jesse Ulrich might have gotten there just a touch early on Jordan Stevenson.
Back judge has got a good look at it. The play's right in front of him, so you have to assume he's on top of it.
Here's another look.
Oh,
timed up pretty well.
Yeah. Bang, bang. See his accuracy? I mean, you look at that from, we're like down the hallway from Shireman.
Right.
And that is on point.
So first down and 10 from the 12 now. Shireman complete.
Down that far sideline, Bullerman inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line.
Defense pretty well. You know, that screen game, that quick game with the bubble, when you can engage blocking before that ball is caught if it's behind the line of scrimmage, has really changed not only pass completion percentage, but the passing game as a whole.
Not much there for Mobral as the stop made by Brett Cook again.
Cook's a good defensive football player, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Not the biggest guy.
75 tackles on the year.
Sound technician, too. Look at him in there.
Flips it to the end zone, coming back to make the grab and a touchdown.
Don't adjust your television. You haven't called his name yet.
Wow, what a play.
It's Borkircher. Just, you know, you get a good pass rush. Doesn't even step into that one. You know, Cook's got a beat on him. Ooh.
Maybe, right?
The crowd saw what we saw. He heard the collective groan.
Extra point is through. PAT good, and it's 28-7 after the touchdown catch from Borkircher, who was not provided on the 2-deep list. And that is now 6 receivers that Shireman has completed a touchdown pass to.
Does he look rattled right there to you?
No.
Yeah.
I want to remind you, coming up at half, we're going to talk about the Nebraska School Activities Association High School Volleyball Championships, which were held about 10 days ago at the Bob Devaney Sports Center. Also take a look at first half highlights and statistics from right here at Memorial Stadium.
You got 4 minutes here for Ord. You got to keep playing. This is a juggernaut on offense. You knew you were going to give up some points. Your offense has to find a way to get some momentum going here.
6 state championships contested right here at Memorial Stadium over these 2 days. A 7th state championship was held on Friday out in Kearney. That's the D6 or 6-man championship, which is back after a 2-decade hiatus. Coming up at halftime, we'll also show you a story about that 6-man championship from NET's Mike Tobias. 4:04 to go before that happens, and a 8-7 lead for Aurora.
Yeah, I was always so tempted. You almost just want to put your heels right before that.
Yeah.
And just, even if you have to catch it over your head awkward, just give yourself a chance at a return.
It looks like that would have been one he could have handled had he just kept the feet right at about the half-yard line.
Then again, you are talking to a guy that fielded a ball inside his own 5 for a punt return, so don't trust my judgment.
You want to tell the rest of the story? You returned at 95 yards?
No.
Well, that's where you were going.
No, we were just talking about my lack of judgment.
All right. Well, I didn't think something like that came without some sort of recognition of what a great play you made.
Try to keep those to a minute.
Ulrich with the carry there. This is an important drive here for the Chanticleers. Down.
It really is.
Down by 21 here. We're late before half.
Ulrich is such a good player too. I loved his tape.
Yeah. If Ulrich could manage to put together a drive here and score before half, they get the ball back to start the second half. Could be a good turn of events here for this Chanticleer team. Kind of dancing around indecisiveness there and stopped Shoemaker nowhere to go. Stop made by Trevor Dvorak.
And the underappreciated unsung heroes of this Husky bunch is that front 4. You know, the offense gets all the accolades, and rightfully so. They're prolific, but really well coached along this D-line. Multiple fronts. I thought I heard a whistle.
It was just the awkwardness of the snap. Maybe the snap came before anybody moved. That'll bring up 4th down and a yard. And boy, this would be a tough spot to go for, given the amount of time on the clock, down by 3 touchdowns.
And do you get the sense with 2:46, though, if you give it back to Aurora, you can stop them?
Yep. Jesse Ulrich in the shotgun. 4th down and 1.
Tight.
Ulrich will keep very near the line to gain, and it looks like he did cross the 30.
Gonna need a left foot spot here. I think he's gonna get it. I'd call for the sticks. Move.
And they did.
Yeah.
Let's go down to the field to Sean.
Yeah, you could sense on the Ord sideline there was no hesitation at all. I didn't see a punter. I didn't see anybody come up. I mean, it was like they were playing that as 4-down territory, sensing the game could get out of reach here if they gave the ball back to Aurora.
Hey, Sean, could you tell that there was a mood change once Gabriel got hurt?
A little. I just think Aurora's good, though. I mean, and you know, not having their elite guy on the front 7 has made a difference, just with the ability to get to Shireman and disrupt things up front, as he has all day back there right now. He's really not been pressured in the pocket and been able to scramble around and put on a clinic here. I mean, we haven't seen a quarterback performance like this in a C1 game, especially in a while.
Well, there's a reason he's got records. And I mean, you just have to ask yourself, if you're a defensive coordinator or a defensive mind, Larry, what would you try to take away first?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to take away Shireman because
he's got poise. Right. He's got good arm strength. They're very good up front. He has 5 or 6 receivers. You just don't see this kind of depth.
Yeah, right. And Morale has shown already the ability to be able to tote it when he has to. So if you drop off and you try to play, you know, maybe a nickel or more in coverage, that he's going to pick you apart.
You've got to try to mix in a little bit of your pressure package and give up something on the back end. You figure if he's going to play catch anyway, at least force the issue from time to time. I'm not so sure 3rd and 12 right here. Minute 42. Not as excited about it being 4-down territory unless it's 4th and extremely short. I mean, you're asking to open up the floodgates, if anything other.
There are numbers for Ulrich here in this first half.
It's the balance he's known for, usually just a little bit bigger number. He's a 50-50 guy.
3rd down and 12. Ulrich drops back. Out into the flat, has a man. Pulled in, tight ropes right along that far side. And steps out of bounds to bring up 4th down and about 3 now. Had an opportunity maybe to pick up the 1st down. I think he lost his balance. Did Riley along that far sideline.
And no real indecision here either with the punt unit. Boy, it looked like, it was that first left false step that got him.
He started to turn and go and realized how close he was to the sideline, and
the bunch formation.
It's like 4th down, 4th and 2 to go.
Zero hesitation.
Right.
We're going.
Tommy Stevens takes the option. Stevens out near he will not get it. Comes up short and turned over on downs, and the Huskies will have an opportunity here to add to that lead before half.
Yeah, I like the concept of the play. They had numbers. The problem is they didn't win at the point of attack. Little miscommunication on leaving the in man on the line of scrimmage or whomever they were going to option. They had numbers to the boundary. Just a good job of running to the football and winning on the outside. Those are those plays that look good when you have a marker and a dry erase board, but that you have to execute.
Yeah, yep.
The concept was sound.
Well, Damon, you mentioned earlier that this Huskies team really has not been challenged this year. They average 51-15, and I don't think they've had a 2-touchdown game this year that's been within 2 touchdowns.
Right.
And here is Shireman on the carry, another first down for Shireman. You look at maybe the closest game was 42-27 in a win against Grand Island Northwest, which is a Class B team, one of their old rivals.
Doesn't look like he's gaining ground here either, but he's such a long strider. An extremely athletic family. He comes from good stock.
Morale again. Everything working right now for the Huskies.
Yeah, with a 21-point lead, you always like the way your offensive playbook looks a lot more. Or continuing to substitute. I kind of like how they're keeping guys fresh. You get a stop here, you get the ball back at the half, potentially, to build some morale. Starts with getting a stop here there's the pressure. That's and by another good football player too, right there. Stevens is a really good football player. Saw him ruin a few guys his age on tape, watching huddle. I mean, that's the risk reward. You ask yourself, okay, we saw Coach Beller and Norfolk Catholic do it, right? They started to bring pressure off the edges. They really didn't think that their pass defense could hold up. If you're gonna play catch, you occasionally have to dictate tempo. And he'll have all day here just rushing 2.
5th sack of the season there by Stevens. Double pass, wide open downfield. Touchdown! What a play call. Morale for the touchdown. 31 yards.
Yeah, that block bubble turned into bubble block go. Yep, corner bites. Campese got caught peeking.
With 14 seconds to go before the half, Aurora on the board once again. Extra point good, and it is 35-7. Huskies on top.
Look, you see the block. There's one going.
And Bullerman,
yep,
immediately saw how wide open he was, could not flip his hips and fire it fast enough.
We were just talking about the ability to block early, a little bit downfield when the ball is behind the line of scrimmage, has changed. Just changed the horizontal passing game.
Yeah.
Whether it's the screen game, I mean, everybody runs block, bubble. I mean, it's just a staple in these spread offenses. And then you have the wrinkles off of it. Which one of the blockers is going? There, they gave it to you out of the quads look.
That's right. Well, that time it was Morale that was going. And wide open for Bullerman. 35-7. Pretty convincing performance here in this first half for the Huskies. Coach Peterson says that for many of his players, the move down to C1 was a bit disappointing. They wanted to stay in B, but at least they were able to keep one of their rivalry games against Grand Island Northwest and ended up winning that by 15. That was the closest game they had this season.
Did I understand correctly? Is football the only sport?
There are other sports.
Other
as well.
sports?
Yep. So
but not all sports.
I believe
we got to get Callahan on that. He's the hell no.
I believe they are classifying based on
the boys' attendance,
gender enrollment, right? Let's go down to Sean Callahan.
Yeah, that's correct. This year for football only, the NSAA instituted a boy count on enrollment. And if you were over a certain number, you were A, then B, etc. So in the old way of doing things, I believe 28 teams were A, 32 were B, and 32 were C1, etc. Now it's strictly based on the number of boys, which made Class B as small as we've ever seen in Class A this year, as big as we've ever seen in Aurora, was really one of the big winners of the whole thing, being able to move down to C1, even though it was met with some controversy. I know there was a really tight vote amongst the school board about moving up, and I think it fell short by 1 vote for them to play Class B football. And a lot of people thought they were a top 5 team. If they're in Class B this year, they very easily could have been on this field again, representing the Class B, as we've seen over the years here, not that long ago into Elkhorn South.
Right. In fact, 2015, I think, was that year that Elkhorn South beat Aurora in the championship game, 32-21.
Yeah, we see a hold right there. Negates a good run. It's, you know, they're in a tough spot, right? You're really small. The second smallest, I believe, them in York for Class B. But, you know, too big almost for Class C. What you don't want to do is penalize the kids' effort. They can only control what they can control, and that's playing sports. So I'm not going to judge them on that. I hope the rest of Nebraska doesn't either. It's just, you know, it's a tough deal. You did have me thinking I was crazy that it was not just football. I'm glad I do know something.
I know there's some other schools that are moving down in just boys basketball as well. So.
Yeah. The charter members, it gets complicated, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
I think some of that is out of the NSAA's hands, though.
Yeah. I mean, let's get out of the field. Sean Callahan is with Coach.
Guys, I'm with Nate Wells here from Ord. Coach, 35-7 here at the half. What do you tell your guys to settle down here in the third quarter?
Well, we just got to keep battling. We knew they were going to be tough. They're hard to cover. They've got a lot of team speed, and we just got to keep fighting. I mean, that's one of the reasons why the boys are playing in this game is they've always played extremely hard, and they've always kept battling, and we're just going to continue to do that.
When you've gotten pressure on Shireman, that's when you've had your most success. Do you have to find some new ways here in the second half to try to get more pressure on Shireman?
Yeah, it's real hard to get pressure on him. He gets the ball out of his hand really quick, but it's something that we're going to have to address at halftime.
All right, Coach, best of luck here in the second half.
Thank you.
So we head to halftime.
There.
Yeah, that's right. We head to halftime. Aurora on top, 35-7. They've done it in many ways, including the halfback pass for the touchdown. 35-7 here at the break.
The values that Methodists bring is family.
It's important going through school that you're not just a number, that you're a face and that you're a name to a teacher. And so I loved the small class sizes.
What it means to me is that I found my foundation where I can build on my passion and I can embrace something new in my life. It is a place where I know that I'm supposed to be.
Interactive exhibits for all ages bring sports to life at the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame. Nebraska's history of high school sports is alive, while historic memorabilia preserve the rich heritage.
The Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame is for fans of all high school sports, like me.
Inside the NSAA headquarters at 500 Charleston Street, just north of Haymarket Park in Lincoln. More information at nebhalloffame.org.
Head trauma and concussion risk minimization is a priority of the NSAA. When in doubt, sit them out.
Some common symptoms of concussions are dizziness, confusion, and nausea.
The NSAA requires coaches in all sports to take a concussion course annually.
For more information regarding concussion management and return to play protocol, visit our website, nsaahome.org. When in doubt, sit them out.
Coverage of the 2018 NSAA High School Football Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, Education Quest, Constellation, the Nebraska Soybean Board, Nebraska Methodist College, Aurora Cooperative. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. We are back at halftime at Memorial Stadium. 35-7 is the score. Aurora on top in this C1 championship game. Good to have you back with us. I am joined now by Jennifer Schwartz, who is Assistant Director at the Nebraska School Activities Association, in charge of the volleyball championships, which happen every year here in the fall. Always one of the most talented championships we have in the state of Nebraska. The quality is remarkable. Talk about how things went this year.
I think things went really well this year. Actually, this was the first time in a very, very long time that we only had one wild card qualifier for the state tournament because we changed the format. And so in 5 of the classes, you had to win to get in. So they had to win their district final in order to qualify for the championship. So it made for some really exciting matches. So it's been a long time since, like when I played, that you had to win to qualify for the tournament. So it was an exciting time.
Since you played. Wow. So we're going way back. All right. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. And of course, this was being held on NET, the NSAA Volleyball Championships. We saw some great play again this year and some new champions.
We did. Actually, BDS, Bruning Davenport Shickley, I believe, won its first state title. Fremont Bergen, I know, longtime coach there. That was her first state championship. And then Blue Hill, my gosh, they overcame, I think they were down 14-11 in the 5th set of their semifinal match to make it to the title game, and then they were successful as well. Wahoo, I think, earned back-to-back titles, and then Millard North, I think it was their second in 3 years. And then, whoa, Omaha Scott Catholic, wow. 4 consecutive state championships, pretty amazing.
And you're looking at Scott here in this Class B championship game against Elkhorn South. And I think, you know, after seeing all of the teams play down at state, that Scott team was maybe the most talented team down here.
Yeah, Coach Saunders does a fantastic job. Obviously, she has some pretty special talent at her school, but nonetheless, you have to be able to coach it in order to win championships, and so she definitely did that.
4 straight state championships for Scott. So let's talk about what's different, what is changing in 2019.
Yeah, actually next year through the membership, our NSA membership has decided that we're going to move the postseason up 1 week. So district finals and championships, all of the sub-districts will be played 1 week earlier next year, and then actually the state tournament will move up a week as well. And what we're hopeful is that then the girls will have an extra week off before the winter sports season starts. And so those of us that are advocates for girls to be multi-sport athletes, we think this will be a good thing.
Was that the primary impetus, was to be able to provide that break, or were there other factors involved?
There were other factors involved. Obviously, volleyball falls at a time of the year with Halloween, and so trying to avoid some of that. And really, it was really about giving that extra week off.
So let's take a look at the champions, and I believe we have those teams, the 6 teams that won this year's NSAA state title, and you can run down and tell us a little bit about these champs.
Well, again, like I said, Millard North, I believe this was their second title in 3 years. We just talked about Scott Catholic, Wahoo, back-to-back championships, Blue Hill, phenomenal semifinal game to reach the title game. And then Fremont Bergen, Coach Sue Weewell, was her first championship, which was pretty fun to see. I actually coached against her, and I'm not so sure that maybe I was playing when she was coaching at Fremont Bergen, but I can't remember. And then obviously BDS, that was fun for them. I believe their coach, her daughter, was on the team too. So, and I don't know if you noticed this, but all of the coaches in the finals, I think we're all women.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, that's good to see. And congratulations to all of the state champs. And once again, the NSAA does such a great job of putting on those high school championships for the ladies.
Yeah, and you know, again, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank all of the people that are involved in the championship, from the facility host to our officials, to our floor managers, and obviously to NET. I heard this rumor yesterday that maybe you only had 3 minutes between matches from the time you went from the other, so appreciate everybody's dedication. It's a long 3 days, it's fast and it's furious, but again, it's the best.
Jennifer Schwartz from the Nebraska School Activities Association, in charge of putting on one of the great activities, the high school championships for high school volleyball. We'll be back right here on NET, halftime of the C1 title game between Aurora and Ord.
Earning my shield means...
It means I'm always moving forward.
Never stopping, always learning.
It means rising to the challenge of my ambition.
Earning my shield means having the confidence to hold my own with anyone from anywhere.
It means more opportunities for me and my children.
Earning my shield means it's never too early or late to set goals. What does it mean to earn your shield? I found out it don't.
Participating in multiple Nebraska high school activities has taught me the value of teamwork.
I learned how to be a strong leader among my peers.
We set goals as a team and work hard to accomplish them.
I strive to excel not only in the classroom, but on the playing field.
The Nebraska School Activities Association, providing opportunities in 25 activities for our member high schools. NSAA activities, the other half of education.
On the next Big Red Wrap-Up, we'll recap the Michigan State game with co-host Sean Callahan and special guest Parker Gabriel from the Lincoln Journal-Star. Big Red Wrap-Up, Wednesday at 8 Central on NET World and again at 10 Central on NET.
NET supports those who have driven miles of Nebraska highways. Those who have paid their share of admission fees. Those who have worn their school colors faithfully. Those who have practiced, practiced, practiced. And those who have stood on the sidelines. NET supports those who have supported Nebraska high school athletes.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, halftime of the C1 title game. Aurora in command, 35-7. This is one of 6 state championship games that are happening right here at Memorial Stadium. We had another state title game happen on Friday after 2 decades of non-existence. The 6-man football returned as an official NSAA sport. That championship game, again, was last Friday in Kearney. And Mike Tobias of NET has scenes from that game and a bit of 6-man football history.
It was undefeated Hay Springs against undefeated Wilcox Hildreth in the 6-man championship game. And if you've never seen 6-man, here's what some of the fans say you need to know.
It's fast. Track meet.
Well, wide open.
It's like playground ball.
Awesome.
Although the sport was still being played, this was the first Nebraska championship under the NSAA umbrella since 1998, thanks to a growing number of teams. 6-man football started in Nebraska, invented by Chester High School PE teacher Stephen Epler. He created the game as a way for small high schools to field football teams during the Depression. The first game was played in front of a curious crowd in Hebron in 1934. 6-man has different rules. The player receiving the snap has to get the ball to another player before anyone can go past the line of scrimmage. All players are eligible receivers, 15 yards for a first down, and kicks are worth more points than traditional football. But there's nothing different about the heart of the players and the hits they deliver.
Go Big Green! Go Big Green!
Friday's championship was a high-scoring back-and-forth battle. Hay Springs senior Trent Reed led the Hawks with 225 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Hay Springs had the lead going into the fourth quarter. But Wilcox Hildreth scored 14 unanswered points to win 52-40, carried by the legs and arm of A.J. Jenkins. The record-breaking Falcon senior had a hand in 7 touchdowns, 4 rushing, 2 passing, and an interception return.
They're a phenomenal bunch. They're great football players, but they're better kids.
Congratulations, man.
It's awesome. We've been waiting for this moment all year, and it's finally here. It's crazy to think. I don't think it's sunk in yet.
A fast, wild championship game, but
That's six-man for you. It's a lot of talented kids in six-man that probably don't get the credit they deserve just because it's so new to a lot of people. And tonight was a great showcase of a lot of great kids in the state of Nebraska that play six-man.
Congratulations on that D6 championship to the winners in Class D6. When we come back, stats and highlights from Memorial Stadium.
Pride of place is more than just a saying. It's a movement, driven by a desire to achieve and the unwavering faith of the fans. Like a town and its team, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
The Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association is pleased to sponsor the NSAA Academic All-State Award Program, recognizing students and athletes who shine in the classroom and on the field. This statewide program recognizes academic excellence, leadership, and athletic achievement in over 20 high school sports and activities. We honor these exceptional students and all of the teachers, coaches, and parents who have mentored them. Together, we can continue to make Nebraska a great place to live, learn, and play.
live streaming for the NSAA State High School Football Championships is also available at the NET website and on the free NET Nebraska app.
Coverage of the 2018 NSAA High School Football Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, Education Quest, Constellation, the Nebraska Soybean Board, Nebraska Methodist College, Aurora Cooperative. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support.
Welcome back into Memorial Stadium. Let's take a look at the halftime highlights, or the highlights from the first half of play. It's been all Aurora on top.
Yeah, this is going to turn into Baylor Shatterman highlights. That's a heck of a catch right there. Now everybody's wondering where the pressure is, and you know, is he flustered in the pocket? Now it's just hard to rush him, but when he has time, he'll do this. That is a dart with nice touch. Ulrich is really capable of this. It's been a shame we haven't had a chance to see him out in the open field. He's a heck of an athlete.
Good pick there. Nice coverage downfield. The pick by Warner.
Yeah, this right here is about where I think the wind came out of the sails. You had a chance to go up 14, or tie the game at 14 apiece, and all of a sudden it's 21-7. And you lost one of your best linemen on their two-point conversion that series.
And then the completion to Bo Kircher. The halfback pass made it 35-7 with just seconds left in first half action. Let's take a look at the numbers. And yeah, it's up and down. You can see which side it tilts.
Yeah, 16 of 23 pass attempts and a half. Yet you still have 91 rushing yards. It's pretty good offensive output right there.
Sean is downstairs with Kyle Peterson.
Guys, you got Kyle Peterson here, up, coach, 35-7 at the half. How did you like how your team came out of the gates here?
You know, we started pretty quick with a turnover. We gave up a run where we had a lot of broken tackles, but we finished the first half really well, and that's kind of what we've done throughout the playoffs. We've finished halves really well. We've closed out and separated a little bit. We got a half of football yet to play, though, against a really good team.
Yeah, Ward's going to come out with the ball. What do you want to see your team do? How do you want to see them respond?
The message was really simple: win the first possession, win the opening possession of the third quarter, and then we'll get the ball back to our offense. We'll see what happens from there.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Sean. Thank you to Coach Kyle Peterson for joining us. Kyle Peterson was in the finals in his very first season as a head coach, replacing Randy Hubert, who was a longtime coach at Aurora.
Yeah.
Kyle Peterson was his assistant for 14 years.
Found his way down to Papillion.
That's right.
Good coach. Really good coach.
This program has won championships in 2008 and 2009. They were runners-up in 2015 to Elk South. Means it's the 7th final and 4th since 2008 for this Aurora team. Huskies are 2-4 in Class B championship games, winning it in, as you see, 2008 and 2009. Most recently was that loss of 32-21 to Elk South in the 2015 championship game. Big possession here to start this second half. If this Ord squad is going to get back in it, they'll need something to happen here.
Yeah, right now it is turning to one play at a time. Now you're playing against your own level of execution. If you're for Ord, Coach Wells does a really good job. I remember he used to be one of our equipment managers when I was at Lincoln.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Used to kind of tell us what to do. Hey, stuff goes here, put it there. Heck of a guy.
So kicking it off for the Huskies is Ryan Hunter. Back deep for Ord, taking it about the 11-yard line. Here comes Stevens. Ball on the ground. Looks like Ord is back on top of it. I think that was Riley on the return. Nope, ball did squirt out there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good job with the camera angles. We got guys everywhere.
Yeah. Look at this, Tommy Stevens recovered it.
Yeah, whatever you need at home, we've got you covered. Our folks here in the trucks at NET. Need angles? We've got angles.
So Ord will start from their own 26-yard line to try to get something going. Quick completion for a first down.
Yeah,
to Campese.
Traditional RPO. Number 2 closes on ball carriers, sling it out to the slot. That was the third down play on the opening drive that they just missed. That's a little quick look in.
First down on the first play of the second half. Here is Ulrich out in the flat, throws it out to Campese again, and Campese stopped right away.
Reichard on the spot again. They're pretty good out of the secondary. They tackle well. Look at the ease in which Ulrich can sling it out there on that RPO. Doesn't matter when you tackle like that.
Ulrich again with the carry. That's good enough for a first down as they get out near midfield to about the 48-yard line. It's good enough for a first down. 2 first downs here early on in quarter number 3. Oregon the first half only completed 2 passes, and that's tipped away and intercepted. Reichard is there, and Reichard's going to house it. Touchdown, 53-yard return for the Huskies.
That's kind of how it's gone, through the hands of your guy and into the hands of their guy. Pick six the other way. A tough break on that opening drive.
Wow. He had something going. A couple of completions, a couple first downs. On to try the extra point now for the Huskies. And it is good. 42-7 lead, 35-point advantage.
Oh, it was deflected. That's what happened. Wow, Dvorak got his big mitts up. He's an active linebacker, isn't he?
Yeah.
Does a lot for them. He's got a good frame. Must be something with Sevens playing linebacker. We liked Sims last night in his frame for Grand Island. Dvorak wears it well, too.
There is Kyle Peterson. Let's go down to the field to Sean Callahan.
Guys, with that extra point, 35-point lead, so we will go down to the running clock after this kickoff is fielded here by Ort. Something that we saw a couple years ago. A lot of these finals had the running clock. We haven't seen it for a while, but they're going to go to the running clock just a minute in here to the third quarter, which is something you don't see every day in a state championship game.
36 unanswered points for the Huskies.
We've seen some huge runs here in the state finals, though, with unanswered points.
36. That's a big one.
That is. We saw 20 and 26 respectively yesterday.
Yep.
Saw 14 a couple of times.
Well, as Sean said, now we are into the running clock, so clock will not stop here except for timeouts and injuries, as long as the lead remains 35 or greater. Ryan Hunter to kick it away. Well into the end zone as he drives Tommy Stevens back, and Ord will take over. Well, this week NET Sports continues its coverage of Nebraska volleyball. We have a couple of matches coming up this weekend on Friday and Saturday night. Friday night, it's Ohio State traveling to Lincoln to face the Huskers, and then on Saturday, the Terrapins are in town. 7 Central, both on NET, Nebraska's home for sports. We are getting near the postseason for Nebraska volleyball, coming off that championship year. Flag on the play. That's going to back up Ord. Coming off a national title year, so many changes, new faces in the lineup. 2 seniors trying to lead that volleyball program, and they're now back on a run of about 6 or 7 straight, trying to finish the season with back-to-back wins and host a first and second round of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I think it was, there's multiple things early on, but we saw the case of just how
this is the goal. Still first down.
Appreciative we should have been of Kelly, Big Game Hunter.
Oh my gosh.
And Nebraska's ability to set well for that offense early on was a little bit of a work in progress.
Yeah, after that opening game loss this year that Nebraska suffered to Florida here in Lincoln, Mary Wise said, I don't think this state appreciated how good she was.
Yeah, Big Game Hunter. I am really impressed with this Aurora secondary in terms of their tackling. Stuck out right away on film. Watched them do it against Gothenburg in the playoffs.
On second down and long, man open over the middle, got him open for a second, and one-handed pick pulled down again by Reichart. Still on the feet after the fumble, and the whistle finally blows after the turnover. Down to the 29-yard line, and Aurora continues to be dominant defensively.
Where hasn't Rylan Willis been? He's even Rylan on the spot to catch a fumbled interception. Still nothing but white jerseys around.
One-handed grab there by Reichart, and then stripped away.
Good hustle to get back on it from Jaden Riley.
And there is your guy, Rylan Willis.
We go get it. That'll make the highlight reel.
Carry on first down. Not much there for Morale.
So you don't have to worry about Tommy Stevens continuing to play football.
Right.
You just get the sense he enjoys being out there.
He's been good on both sides of the ball.
He has.
Gain of 2 by Morale. 2nd down and 8. Shireman scrambles, fires downfield, got a man, and got a touchdown. Bill Kircher again. 2 touchdown catches for Bill Kircher.
Glad you put him in your 2 deep.
Finally got him in there. That was a secret weapon for Kyle. He wasn't telling us about him.
Well, there's something about Aurora that you get long, lean, wide receivers that high point footballs. Austin Allen says hello.
Extra point is good. 49-7 Aurora in a C1 state title game. All Aurora here in Lincoln. We'll be back in just a minute.
Mornings, late nights, emotionally, physically, mentally tougher. Generations of trust, innovation, and hard work done side by side. The decisions you make for your land and livestock have a direct impact on your operation, the region, and the world. That is why we're there when you need us anytime, every time. We both have one chance, one season, one mission. Tougher together. Aurora and you.
Let's talk about public power for a second. Did you know Nebraska is the only state in the nation served entirely by public power electric utilities? Community-owned utilities mean Nebraskans are working for Nebraskans. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you. Let's talk about public power for a second. Did you know Nebraska's electric utilities are governed by locally elected or appointed boards and councils? This means you have a voice in the decisions made by your local utility. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you.
49-7 Aurora on top. In a dominant performance for the Huskies.
I tell you, they've got a lot coming down the pipeline too. My 12-year-old played against their, I don't know, 6th, 7th, or 8th grade team, one of the two. And that was a good bunch too. They must just keep churning them out. Strong community, boy. They support their sports.
Ryan Hunter now to kick it deep. This one will be returnable. Taken at the 7-yard line. Returned here by Jaden Riley. Jaden Riley with some room. Look out. Riley in the far side. One man to beat, and he got it. Great return by Jordan Riley.
Well, you saw what he was about when he forced the fumble after the interception. He didn't give up on the play. Let me know all I need to know about that young man right there. He's still continuing to play hard. You talk about just getting north and south. Not a lot of wiggle. A little bit of a crease there. The one-step cut takes good care of the football. And Van Pelt just hustling.
So an opportunity here for Ward to get on the board. Nothing there. On the carry by Ulrich. 67-yard return on that kickoff.
Ward not afraid to use the boundary. Trying to play the numbers game with Aurora. Aurora just able to be real stout at the point of attack, especially along the D-line. Their ends are solid. Both in the stand-up and a two-point position. A lot of times coaches think they're giving up a little bit of run leverage, but Not with this bunch. They have been good against the run.
Keep here by Ulrich. And Ulrich around that left side. Gain of about 4 for Ulrich down to the 20. It's going to bring up 3rd down. Only loss on the season for Ord came against Pierce in the 3rd game of the season. It was a 58-42 win for Pierce.
Blue Jays, another one of those quality programs.
And nowhere to go there.
Let's just count the white jerseys.
Ryan Hunter leading the way, made first contact, and he was followed by Trevor Dvorak and others.
You're just getting 6, 7 white hats every time there is some sort of sweep action. They turn and they run. They tackle well. They've got good depth.
In the backfield with Ulrich, it's Tommy Stevens. Stevens flares out, tries to find him and overshoots him. So the last 8 drives for Ord, 3 turnovers, 2 punts. 2 times they've turned it over on downs, and the last one was the half.
Yeah, it's more about Aurora defensively than
Absolutely.
it is Ord being inept. That is a sound, good bunch right there in white.
So back in there is Baylor Shireman. Shireman 16 of 23, 180 yards through the air and 4 touchdowns. He does have that 1 interception.
Did that put Morale over the 100? Has he got to the century mark yet?
So Morale with that carry is at 87.
87 yards.
Make it 90. 15 carries, 90 yards after that 3-yard gain for Morale.
Back to this quads look as they kind of empty the backfield here.
Second down and 7. Shireman with the empty set. 4 to his right. Looks that way. Quick hitter. Nearly pulled in, but a nice job defensively. The one guy who's been showing up a lot, both offensively and defensively, and that's Tommy Stevens. So 3rd and 7. We were impressed by the fact that Shireman has completed touchdown passes this year to 9 different receivers. Impressed that in the first quarter he hit 5 different receivers, and now 6 receivers are in double digits in receiving yards.
Yeah, you can tell by the concept and the design of the offense. As long as you know what you're doing, wherever you line up, you could potentially get the football. They share the wealth. They keep you balanced. I'm sure they self-scout. The distributions, it's unbelievable when you watch them on tape.
It'll bring up 4th down now for Aurora. 4th and 4 from the shotgun. Will he back up and punt it? Shireman is the punter. And he does. Boy, good hit. Boomer by Shireman. Wow, if it doesn't take an Ord bounce, that might have been down inside the 10s. Let's go down to the field to Sean Callahan.
Guys, to give you an idea of just how dominant Aurora has been this year at the Class C1 level, there's only been 1 game where their starters played every play all the way through, and that was their 1 game against a Class B opponent, a top 10 ranked team in Grand Island Northwest. Other than that, their semifinal win against Wahoo, their starters were in late in the 4th, but they did not finish that game. So it's pretty rare. And one guy I was talking to, I was looking forward to seeing what these guys would look like for 4 quarters out here today. We're probably not going to see their starters out here for much of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at the result. I knew Aurora was good. You know, it was kind of hard for me to gauge the competition before I talked to Coach Wells about what Ord had seen in the playoffs or watched the regular season game. I was pretty excited to watch this matchup after watching it on tape. But I tell you one thing tape doesn't show you is the efficiency and ease in which you feel Aurora can run this offense. I mean, you get the sense Shireman could do this in his sleep. No, really. No disrespect to Ord defensively. He knows where every eligible receiver is on that field, seemingly at all times.
It's an impressive performance, no doubt. 49-7, 2:23 as time ticks away here in quarter number 3. The toss outside, nothing there for Riley. Check that Hurlburt on that carry.
This really couldn't get a really good quarterback like Ulrich in sync. You got to make consecutive first downs. That's a start.
Rolling to his left is Ulrich, looking downfield under pressure, and he'll be dropped for another sack and another loss.
I think that's Dvorak again at the bottom of that pile.
Came into this game with 10 tackles for losses, a couple fumble recovers, 93 tackles on the season for Dvorak. And there's his numbers tonight. Third down and long, 3rd and 16. Give up the middle.
Not a lot in the playbook for 3rd and 16.
Brendan Barger was there
from your 14-yard line.
So now back to punt it away for the Chanticleers is Hurlburt. Nobody back deep for the Huskies. Oh, check that. Bullerman is. He's hiding at the midfield right in plain sight. So that'll trickle down to about the 48-yard line, and that's where Aurora will have it. Let's take a look at the play this afternoon and evening of Shireman.
There's the touch and accuracy. Here's the arm strength. The improv right there. Didn't even step into that one.
That got us to 49-7.
There are a lot of people that'll make the argument he should be playing football at the next level.
Yeah. Headed to South Dakota State to play basketball. There's his number, 16 of 24.
not a bad school.
No, not at all. Not at
I
all.
tell you, they play pretty good football up there too. Coach Stigemeyer and Dan Jackson and Clinton Brown and company.
Well, that's the end of the 3rd quarter. 49-7 is the score. Huskies on top. Final 12 minutes coming your way from Memorial Stadium in just a moment on NET.
The money that comes from Constellation goes directly back into our county 4-H program. So they're directly impacting young people and the development of young people, whether that's leadership development, citizenship development, or helping them develop life skills.
Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. Through our support for 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's future as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
Whether it's spring planting, fall harvesting, or just a drive across the state, soy biodiesel helps a diesel-powered engine operate in a demanding job. Soybean oil from Nebraska soybeans makes biodiesel a renewable fuel that's also environmentally responsible. The soybean checkoff plays a major role in supporting the use and availability of biodiesel. The Nebraska Soybean Board, growing opportunity from the ground up.
We head to the 4th quarter. 49-7 is the score. Aurora on top. Time to check in on our trivia we had asked you about earlier. Which NSAA member school holds the all-time record for most playoff appearances? And we had more than 100 correct answers. The first one in was Tim Shipley of Lincoln, who knew that it was Creighton Prep. They've made postseason 40 years, 40 times. And at one point, they held the record for the most state championships at 9. That was broken last year by Norfolk Catholic when the Knights won their 10th straight, or not straight, but 10th overall state championship. They had a chance to make it 11 today, but that game went into overtime, and Centennial just pulled out the win.
Would not be denied.
Was that a great
football game?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
In the overtime, Centennial went to overtime, tied at 21. Centennial won the toss, decided to play defense. The Knights scored to take a 28-21 lead, and Centennial got itself in a 3rd and 17. And on 3rd and 17, scrambled for 16 yards to get down
Wyatt
to the
Ellers.
How about
Boy,
that?
is it one of the better performances we've seen today, and we've seen some dandies throughout the last day and a half. Quarterback play in the state of Nebraska is in good hands. The game of high school football in the state of Nebraska is in good hands. A lot of talent out there.
So that 3rd and 16 brought up a 4th down and 1 with the game on the line. And of course, at that point, at 4th and 1, you're going to run it in, right? Nope.
Yeah, just the little stick route.
Yeah. Threw it in for the touchdown, and then they went for the win. They went for the 2 points. Same combination on the 2-point conversion. There's a reverse, double reverse, actually, to
Sherman out there as the lead blocker. I don't start talking to basketball coaches in Aurora. I don't know if they think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Season underway.
There's a double reverse to Bullerman. Shireman out in front blocking.
Full bag.
And you'll see here that he's forced out of bounds, but the clock continues to run. That's because we have a 35-point differential, as is in high school football. Once the differential gets to 35 points, we have a running clock, which will continue to run. Another sweep here on the carry by Willis. Willis with plenty of room down to the 35-yard line. That'll be a first down for Willis. That was on 4th down and short.
Yeah, I wondered how fast he would be live. You watch huddle film. He appears to be moving on tape. Not a particularly long strider, but he picks him up and puts him down.
Opportunity here now for the Huskies to put in the subs, or some of the subs. In there at quarterback now for Aurora, Trevor Dwarick. Called his number plenty of times on defense, and Dwarick leans forward for a gain of about 4.
That's almost not fair, is it?
Yeah, he's your backup.
He's your backup quarterback. Assume the starting position next year.
Yep, great opportunity to get some time here on the turf at Memorial Stadium. Stiff arm, there's a nifty move. Carry there by Trevor Cluck. Cluck just a sophomore. 5'8", 150-pound sophomore.
According to his sticker helmet, he's made his fair share of big plays. You score this many points as an offensive unit on the season, I'm sure.
They might go
may have
deep, right?
They may have ordered an allotment of stickers or 3.
Crossing the 25 down to the 24-yard line on 3rd and 3. That's enough for a first down. And the carry.
See Jesus Loya, and who else is getting off at the bottom of that pile? Tommy Stevens, of course.
Yep.
Jacob Brown has logged a lot of snaps in the trenches for Ward, offensively and defensively.
So Dvorak from the shotgun. Gives it to Cluck again.
Tommy Stevens there initially again.
Finished up by Riley, or by Hurlburt.
And Tana just make a good pair.
Yep. Inside 6 minutes here in this championship game. Nice defensive play.
Clayton Shoemaker. Had a long day. Look at him run. Gets off the block. Gets with. Runs it down from behind. That's a really good effort. Don't always see that at this juncture of a football game when you're looking at the score. That's a reflection of the leadership and coaching right there. Good culture in this program.
Dvorak rolls to his right, fires it out, incomplete on 4th down, and they'll turn it over on downs.
There's a stop. Dvorak doesn't look very old, but he sure does bring some drama on defense, doesn't he?
So this is the 4th down now, 4th and 14 for the Huskies. Dvorak will keep it himself. Dvorak with the first down. Down inside the 15 to the 12-yard line on the carry by the backup quarterback, Dvorak.
QB run game off the little counter action. You think tag is coming, quarterback counter comes back at you. Really messes with your end. Seth Cook is thinking to himself, it's not what I've seen all day. I've been running it down from the backside.
Yeah, it looked like maybe he expected some help there behind him.
Yeah.
Here's Ethan Shaw, a sophomore now in there at quarterback. Flag on the play. I believe that's going to be a delayed game.
Offense.
So in addition to Ethan Shaw at quarterback, running back is Mac Owens, just a freshman, and here is Owens with the carry. And the fumble, and it's going to be recovered by Aurora.
Take a look at the replay here. Boy, that's a really good job of, look at the four helmets to the football. Continuing to play hard.
2nd down and 10. Owens with the carry again, nowhere to go. Tackle made by Zach Smith.
Sportsmanship as well.
Well, a disappointing ending for the Chanticleers, but certainly a great season. The only other loss on the year, the 3rd game of the season, as you said, Naaman, to a great program in Pierce. Swarming to the ball there.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of, we've seen Pierce, we've seen Norfolk Catholic, we've seen some of those traditional C powers and seen them a lot. Proud programs across the state. There are a lot of them.
4th down upcoming. Ethan Shaw still at quarterback. Mac Owens pulls it out of the air, and Mac Owens is going to be dropped for a loss by Dalton Herbert.
Take a look at the replay here. Aaron snap. It's always a tough call, you know. You got to pull, guys like Ulrich over, how you kind of approach this. You want him to finish it out.
Ulrich back in there, quarterback. Hurlburt behind him. Looking downfield, goes deep. In the air, and it's going to be picked off. Interception by Jacob Settles.
Just a sophomore. He'll remember that one.
Good coverage by Settles, was with him the whole way.
Just tough sledding to get anything going vertically in the passing game. Aurora content to keep things in front of them. Winning at the line of scrimmage. The toughest skills to do to high point of football, played in the air, tracked it well.
Injured player on the field, so time does stop for the injury. That is Jaden Riley.
Well, that is a shame. I have loved his effort today. He has been nonstop. Hustled back after the interception and caused the fumble.
Here's Baylor Shireman. His day is done. 17 of 25, 189, 4 touchdowns for Shireman. He also had 3 carries for 7 yards. And they'll run out the clock here in this C1 title game.
A classy move right there by Coach Peterson. They've shown you a lot of formations tonight, but this is perhaps the best one.
In there at quarterback is the freshman Bryce Barger, and here comes the Gatorade shower. Or the ice water, whichever it might be. Takes a knee. And this should be the final snap of the game. Think they successfully hid that Gatorade bucket?
I don't know. The crowd's going to give it away.
I think you got a peek of it. The final kneel down of the game, and that will do it. The Aurora Huskies are state champs in Class C1 with a dominating performance. The final 49-7. Had to pin him in, it looked like.
That's a talented bunch.
Your state champs are the Huskies. When we come back, medal and trophy presentations from right here at Memorial Stadium on NET.
This is NET, Nebraska's public television station.
Watch NCAA volleyball on NET Sports. Maryland versus Nebraska Huskers, Saturday night, November 24th at 7 Central on NET.
I love PBS. It's that gift to our culture. It is the very best reflection of ourselves. Ken Burns National Parks, unbelievable. Frontline, most extraordinary because they have no barriers. They're just right there. Just find a PBS channel and it'll just take you to all those wonderful places. I can't imagine a world without PBS. I don't want to.
Think Wednesday on PBS for stories from the world around us. Stories of present danger.
Lions expect the lion's share of all prey.
Extreme speed.
The strike took just 1/5 of a second.
And coastal crises.
We're going to get 2 feet of sea level rise by 2060.
For stories that get you closer to life. Think Wednesday, starting at 8/7 Central. Think PBS.
Coverage of the 2018 NSAA High School Football Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, Education Quest, Constellation, the Nebraska Soybean Board, Nebraska Methodist College, Aurora Cooperative. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support.
Dominating performance by this Huskies squad from Aurora. They trap him in and they kind of got him with the water. 49-7 is the final. They are the state champs.
Like his quarterback, he's pretty elusive.
Want to remind you, a great time for you to order a copy of these state high school championships. You can order a DVD of the NSAA football championships by calling 800-868-1868 or logging on to our website at netnebraska.org and preserve these memories for a lifetime. Let's head now for the presentation of medal and trophies. We go to our public address announcer, Heath Kramer.
The Nebraska School Activities Association is honored to have medals and trophies for both of these outstanding teams. Presentations will be made by NSAA Executive Director Jay Beller, NSAA Board of Directors, Kathy Wieskamp from Lincoln Public Schools, Dan Kieser from Sutherland, and U.S. Bank Representative Aaron Roush-Conaway. Here are the awards for runner-up, Ord High School. Head coach Nathan Wells and his assistants will present the silver medals. Players, please come forward as your name is called. Riley Warner. Bentley Riley. Mitchell Knapp. Austin Bentoncourt Trejo. Garrett Cluthy. Quentin Reese. Jesse Ulrich. Jonathan DeRiso. Pedro Negrete. Blake Wells. Solomon Campese. Zach Smith. Clayton Shoemaker. Kaylin Pollard. Blake Modero. Cade Geyser. Kellen Meyer. Jaden Riley. Hayden Boyce. Dalton Hurlbert. Gage Rasick. Trayton Cassell. Carter Griffith. Tommy Stevens. Brett Cook. Seth Clamp. Dayton Van Osdal. Cooper Tonagis. Ethan Gabriel. Jacob Stam. Mike Thompson. Tyson Skinner. Grady Sheets. Caitlin Abbott. Jesus Loya. CJ Hovitt. Jacob Brown. Ray Warner. Alex Flessner. Aiden Grant. Riley Setlick. Sam Leach. Will Grant. Stetson Brettauer. Sam Schmier. Max Collin. Ethan Jeffries. And Dylan Kofel. For these outstanding athletes and their school, here is the 2018 NSAA Class C1 State Football Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations, Ord High School.
Well, a great season for the Chanticleers of Ord, Class C1 runner-up. Just 2 losses on the year, 11-2 is their final record. One loss coming early in the season, 3rd game of the season to Pierce, and they make it all the way down here to the state championship, coming up just short in their quest to win that school's first ever state title. And now time for the presentation of the medals and the trophies to our champions. Let's go back to our public address announcer. Here's Heath Kramer.
Now, to the champions, Aurora High School. Head coach Kyle Peterson, we have a special award for you. Coach Peterson and his assistants will present the gold medals. Players, please come forward as your name is called.
Congratulations. You're welcome.
Ethan Shaw. Cy Bullerman. Baylor Shireman.
I have to jump to give you a hug.
Jordan Stevenson. Cade Reichart. Jason Havens. Trevor Dvorak. Brady Cullingham. Colby Wessels. Logan Jensen. Trevor Kumpston. Andrew Bell. Rylan Willis. Hayden Svoboda. Mitchell Pekta. Jeremy Oswald. Trevor Moeller. Caleb Morale. Trevor Cluck. Levi Van Pelt. Jamison Hersberg. Kyle Larson. Samuel Voorhees. Anthony Jividen. Mac Owens. Brendan Barger. Andrew Adams. Michael Spellman. Carter Persley. Isaac Sine. Evan Golden. Titan Colazo. Brecken Papineau. Ryan Willie. Jacob Penner. Meyer Sykes. Donovan Egger. Jin Gu. Bradley McDonald. Nick Hutzel. Matthew Stacy. Samuel Schroeder. Carson Zimmerman. Cole Fiala. Brandon Otto. Gage Griffith. Colin Freeman. Ryan Marlatt. Jacob Settles. Ryan Hunter. Daniel Elch. Nathan Borkacher. Presenting the championship game ball from Farmers Mutual Insurance is Vice President of Agencies, Andy Kraus. For these outstanding athletes and their school, here is the 2018 NSAA Class C1 State Football Championship Trophy. Congratulations, Aurora High School.
Well, congratulations to the Huskies, the champs in Class C1, and they did it in dominating fashion. The final 49-7. Aurora takes home the trophy and the title of Class C2 state champion. Last time they were state champs, almost a decade ago, 2009. Back down to the field we go to Sean Callahan.
Kyle Peterson, you guys made this look easy, coaches. Talk about this group of kids, what they've meant, and the work they put in to get to this point here tonight.
You know, it's been almost a year ago now when we knew that there was going to be a change in classification, and we knew that the expectations for this group was going to be really high. We returned a lot of kids off of last year's team, and you know, we knew we were having a pretty good group, and they did nothing but live up to those expectations and probably exceed them here in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, when you found out you guys are going to move down to C1, I mean, you guys have been such a competitive sports community. Was it easy or hard for guys to embrace that, to take that move down after all the years you guys have had success at the Class B level?
Well, you know, it's interesting. You know, football is just football. And actually the drop in classification kind of rekindled a lot of rivalries that we had over the years. Central City and Albion and Ord was a team that, you know, Coach Gugemas played, I think, every year that he was the head coach at Aurora. So, you know, it's not necessarily a difficult transition for us because we were able to rekindle a lot of those and then maintain a rivalry with Northwest. But we knew the expectations were going to be high, and like I said, our kids did a great job of living up to those.
I got to ask you about your quarterback, Baylor, and what he's meant just to Aurora football. You guys have had some great quarterbacks over the years, but you even heard Scott Frost joke about him breaking his record this year at the Class C1 level. What has he meant to your program?
You're not going to find a more competitive young man than Baylor Shireman. And I think that's probably what makes him such a complete person. You know, obviously he has arm talent. He sees the field. He has great vision. You watch him on the basketball court, he has that great vision. But he is the ultimate competitor. And that's the kind of person that you want leading your football team each and every week. And I think he drives teams to be successful. South Dakota State's getting a gem.
All right, Coach, congratulations. Let's bring in some of these players.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Baylor, come on in here. First of all, you broke Scott Frost's record. He even talked about it this week. This season you've had, the ride you've had, just put it into words here, ending things here at Memorial Stadium.
It's been really special, especially with this group of guys. We've been together since 6th grade, and I think the biggest thing is we just had fun. The whole season, whole off season, you know, even when we weren't around football, we were just having fun.
You signed to play basketball in college, and I think a lot of people that watch this game were like, wait a minute, this guy could play some football too. Did you play your last football game of your career tonight?
I did, and it's kind of hasn't set in yet, but when it does, it'll be pretty emotional because I love football.
Just the run you guys had, the expectations you had, I mean, how driven were you guys once you moved down to C1 that you're like, all right, we're going to go 13-0 and take care of business?
Yeah, we were pretty driven. Coach told us at the beginning of the season that the bar's never been set higher, and so, you know, we just lived up to the expectations all season long.
Well, Baylor, congratulations. Best of luck as you move on. I'm sure we'll see you at the state basketball tournament as well down the road here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, let's bring in Cade Reichart, the standout wide receiver here for Aurora. Just what does this mean to you guys to finish it out here with the state championship?
It's a dream for us. It's a dream come true. You know, we grew up watching the 08 and 09 teams go back-to-back, and to be in those stands, it was special, but to be on this field, it's a dream. You
had a chance to really grow up and play with Baylor as your quarterback. Just describe his abilities and just how fun he makes playing the game of football.
You know, I kind of have some pressure. You know, he's such a competitor, so if I drop a ball, he kind of gets on me, but it makes me better in the end. And just growing up with him, he's a great guy, and I'm sure going to miss him next year. I know that. What does this mean now to your group to kind of carve your own legacy at Aurora? You talked about some of those previous championship teams. What does it mean for you guys now to kind of have your own legacy? It's the first C1 championship at Aurora, so, you know, it's something new. and we just left our mark. It's awesome.
Well, Cade, congratulations. Go enjoy that state championship.
Thank you.
Well, thanks very much, Sean, and thanks to the coaches and players, and congratulations. There's the picture of the C1 state champs from Aurora, the Aurora Huskies. Quite a performance.
Yeah, it was. It was in dominant fashion. It was the way that the whole season had gone, and it's a really good football team and a good senior bunch right there.
So congratulations one final time to the state champs from Class C1, the Aurora Huskies. A reminder, we have one game remaining. That is tonight in Class B. Should be a good one as the Scottsbluff Bearcats go after their first ever state championship. They'll take on the Scott Skyhawks, who are down here for the 4th time in 5 years. It'll be a good one to close it out tonight at 7 right back here on NET. So for Damon Benning and for Sean Callahan, I'm Larry Putney. Thanks so much for joining us right here on NET. We'll see you tonight.